So today I want to talk to you about motivation. And that's something that I'm actually looking at for myself because I find myself saying things like, I'm just not motivated. I'm just not feeling it. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know why I'm doing this. And I hear some of my friends doing that with me as well. And it's like a really common thing, especially in the gym. Especially when you've been doing something for a long time. Just so you know, the more time that you've invested to something, the longer you've been doing it, the higher level you get, the less motivated you will be. When you first start a nutrition program, when it's your New Year's resolution, when you first go into a gym, you're super excited, you're motivated, you know what your goals are, and you're like ready to go. And then sometimes it's a couple weeks, sometimes a couple months, sometimes it's a couple years for people where they've lost motivation. And I want to go over what motivation is and what it isn't. Motivation is outside of you. It's not bad, it just isn't internally, it's not created internally. It's created from outside factors. Now, we wake up in the morning expecting to be motivated, or we do something, we read a book, we do something expecting motivation. And what there is to get is that the motivation isn't going to come from you. It's going to come from someone else. Now, when you go to the gym, you should expect that by the time you get there, that the class or the session or whatever it is going to be motivating if you have a coach. You expect the coach to motivate you. However, it's going to take something inside of you to actually get there in the first place. And that's something that a coach, a trainer, a friend cannot do for you. So motivation does not equal integrity. It does not equal grit or accountability. And that's kind of what I put these into is integrity is keeping your word, like really doing what you said you were going to do. And are you going to always be motivated to do that? Probably not. But you're the one that said, I'm not going to eat the cheesecake at midnight, right? So it's up to you to create, when it's just down to doing it because you said, and you feel like crap about it, you're just like, well, I said, it's up to you to keep your promise, to connect to your why of why you're going to do it in the first place. So that is part of keeping your word, is like, well, I'm going to connect myself to why. So whatever that takes, does that take calling a friend, calling a coach, going and doing something for yourself that gets you reconnected to that? Sometimes it's just grit. It's just hard freaking work where you just put yourself through the grind and make it to class or make it to work. Like, you don't always want to go to work each day, or maybe you're a new mom or dad and it takes grit, like staying up late nights, waking up to feed the baby. That's another thing you just have to keep in mind, that it's short term, that the grit isn't going to always be necessary in every moment, but in those moments when you just want to break down, you need that. And then more importantly, accountability. The accountability is going to stem from you. You've got to put yourself in a position where you're accountable to somebody, something, and especially yourself. But if it's only yourself, you're going to let yourself off the hook. So for me, I'm dealing with this right now. Like, this is something that came up for me this morning, like, God, I don't feel motivated. So what do I know to do? I know to look at what am I actually committed to. No, I don't want to do a video and tell everybody that this is like something that they're dealing with and that I'm dealing with. And, like, it's not like I'm motivated to do it. And what's going to keep me accountable? Well, doing a video to tell everybody about it, that definitely keeps me accountable. So this is what you want to look for is, do you have structures or things in place that will help you to stay accountable? If you don't, what is it? Is it actually you don't have the resources around you? Is it that you have the resources, but you're just not using the resources? Is it that you just don't think that you need to do that? Or, you just got to look at that and then really put your word out there to somebody else, something else, That's what I'm here for, is to really hold people accountable. But it's not just about that. It is about when you're not motivated, like I said, it's not a bad thing, but you have to take massive action to get yourself motivated. And it's like a daily thing. If you want that feeling of motivation, just know that that feeling of motivation is temporary. I'm losing my voice. The feeling of, I'm passionate about this, man. The feeling of motivation is temporary. And if you love that high, which I do, I love that high of being like so super motivated, you just have to get that that's not going to last, and that you have to take an action in order to have that motivation from an outside source. So sometimes for me, that is attending a group class myself. I've been thinking about going to my own coaches in my own gym's classes, because can I do that workout myself? Sure. Am I going to? Maybe a half-assed job. But if I go and I'm around a group of people, and I don't even have to really like be best friends with the people, but just being in that environment, I know that that's the accountability structure that I might need in that day. And another day it might look different. So I hope that that kind of gives you guys something to go off of. Keep in mind that I don't ever give coaching that I'm not already looking at myself. And so let's do this together. If you have any questions, any comments, any ideas, reach out to us, send us a message. Know that we love you, we're here for you, and we got your back. Thanks, guys.